This is up for debate, of course, but if you were to say that the best match and maybe even the best feud for the Universal title was when Roman Reigns took on Jey Uso at Clash of the Champions 2020, I don't think too many people would be shocked. I mean, it had story, emotion, it made both guys more interesting and compelling, and ended with a bang that had people talking. When WWE gets that kind of storytelling right, they're up there with the best. It answered questions, it asked new ones, enshrined the tribal chief as the savior of the WWE, and it almost meant we witnessed a murder. It's a lovely reminder about how good the promotion and wrestling in general can be, and all of this happened through the brutalization of a human. Very, very weird people. If nothing else, it let you know that both these guys were desperate to become the Universal Champion, and we haven't really had that feeling for some time, or at least I hadn't. I mean, it's been a difficult run based on looks alone, given the whole thing was booed when it was revealed and then magically turned blue when it went to SmackDown. And then The Fiend also had his custom one, which was awful and cost $6,000. So there was plenty of ammunition here for fans to fire out of their social media guns. And look, that does build up. But as we are about to do some investigating into the death of the Universal title, we take this, we take this, we take this. Let's go. The worst part was that it seemed like WWE forgot that this was a world championship. A part of that is that we do have two top-tier titles, which is just confusing. And then back in the day when we had the normal belt and the big gold belt, there was this clear idea that one was prize number one, and the other one was just below that, known as prize number two. The fact that could shift on a whim made it even more confusing, so bringing all of this back after merging the championships was always going to bring with it other problems. And this was doubly true when you remember how we started. Stupid moustache. Finn Balor was chosen to be the first ever winner of this, and within 24 hours he was done after a shoulder injury, and it absolutely sucked. Kevin Owens tried his best, but his loss to Goldberg undermined all that. And although Brock Lesnar is a main eventer and the real deal, the sheer mad booking by WWE meant even that had its issues. The whole will they, won't they with Roman giving it to Seth Rollins and then taking it away again. Everything that happened after that, Hell in a Cell. I mean, Braun Strowman was the Universal Champion in 2020, the same year I'm saying these words, and it doesn't actually feel like that happened. What the hell is that about? And I'm pretty sure if you wanted to pull on your negative Nancy pants, which are a very real thing, you could find an error for every Universal title reign we've had so far and put forward a good argument until now. I mean, you knew something was right, given that Reigns returned at SummerSlam and won the thing in a week. Even if we had done that 6 months prior, the internet would have melted down, but because it made sense and because Roman now seemed like the coolest person ever, it was fine. We were all going to sit back and wait and see, which I'm no longer going to do with this damn moustache. Everything before this, however, was the opposite, or using the damn thing as a prop. So Owens was killed in 22 seconds at Fastlane, and what did it say about that guy? Forget the fact that he was also frozen in fear after seeing old friend Chris Jericho return. How he was presented from top to bottom was that he wasn't the guy, and that was one, mad because KO is great, and two, just meant that this title didn't carry the same weight it should have done. If it had been defended by Kevin against Jericho, which the latter claims was the plan, with all this narrative work they'd done, maybe it would have benefited it too. And that Goldberg-Lesnar match was going to be fire anyway. It's one of the best sub 5-minute matches you're ever likely to see. I'm not going to lie, I love it so much, I would marry it. It is true though, on the 5th of March 2017, we took our young up-and-coming star, Kevin Owens, who was holding our new title, and we just murdered him. The plan was always to get it over to Roman, of course, but the fan backlash that held that up, and then seeing Brock just win it over and over and over again, made you forget that he was the champion. It's almost like the belt blurred into his shoulder. The sensation of a switch was gone because he just whipped everybody. When that happened at WrestleMania 34, just because it was different to what the audience was expecting, well, we had entered truly bizarre territory where the story was being undermined by the worry that the big dog may get booed. I mean, it all just diminished the main focus, which should always be your top championship, because that's what all wrestlers are fighting for to begin with. It's why when Roman finally toppled the beast at SummerSlam 2018, Nobody really batted an eyelid, and when Reigns then had to drop it because of the return of his leukemia, forget about it. Who cares about a meaningless piece of tin then? There is far bigger things at play here, and trying to build any kind of emotional investment for it was pointless. All of that had gone to Joe Anoa'i, and rightfully so. If you do want to find the moment WWE took their fictional gun and shot a bullet into the title's head, you only need to look at WrestleMania 36. The Goldberg-Roman match magically became Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. And here we are in October 2020, dressed up like schmucks, and we still don't know within kayfabe what happened. It ruined the Monster Among Men's win, as did the lack of fans, and left it swimming in its own filth. I mean, that is way too much, but hopefully you take my point. Hopefully. And how the hell could you not take me seriously? Zoom forward to Clash of Champions, and a well thought out feud with believable characters changed all this in the wink of an eye. Something Rey Mysterio will be very pleased about, because I said I and not eyes. How you doing, Rey? And how are you doing, Seth? We need to keep this going, of course, but really it's almost summed up because the Universal title was always meant to be Roman Reigns' baby. We just never figured out all the smaller touches until now, and surprise, surprise, as soon as we did, it worked wonderfully. And that's kind of happened because there are no fans, and WWE realized they could take some risks. Sometimes. I mean, you could even have a scenario where Lesnar does make a comeback and Reigns kills that guy too. And within that one moment, I think we'd be so far removed from any foibles that it would just be peaches and cream from here on out. I mean, I hope so anyway, because everything is there to turn this into something wonderful. And for the first time in years, you don't hear any complaining when it comes to the tribal chief. That doesn't mean you have to keep it on Roman Reigns forever. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to even put it on someone like Jey Uso and continue this momentum, but really, if you go back through the long, or the short history, I should say, for this championship belt, it's only now it feels like it's on the rise. And I'm very, very excited about what's next. Before people go crazy as well with other things that I've said, yes, I've always been a big supporter of the Universal title and certain feuds that have gone on, but it doesn't mean that I can't see it from the other perspective. Of course I can, and I think there's a lot of logic in that argument. And again, do not forget, this whole thing was about coronating Roman Reigns. We just took too long to get there, but I'll tell you this, if it is going to result in what I think could be one of the best characters that Wild Wrestling Entertainment has had for some time, well, better late than never, but better never late. It's a little saying that my English teacher used to say to me when I was in school, because I was late for every single one of my classes. What a bald asshole. Now, please do leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Head over to whatculture.com where you can read articles like this. Follow What Culture on Twitter, What Culture WWE. Watch more videos here on What Culture Wrestling. My name is Siren from What Culture, the investigating detective. And if you don't know, we did another one of these videos a month or so ago called The Day That Monday Night Raw Died. Now we're doing it for the Universal Championship. And yes, every time we make another one of these videos, I am going to dress up more and more. I'm just warning you, I am a grown moron. See you soon.